I am Harley Moon, and this is the On the Moon podcast. Today, I am with my buddy Brian. He has a company called Unsettling Toys, and we're going to get into that. We'll talk about some other shit, possibly, but we are going to get to know his company and what it's about. Brian, I'm happy to have you on here.
Yeah, Harley, it's really good to see you. That's a kickin' track.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My intro. Yeah. Yeah. I wrote that song. I wrote that song right before I moved out here. And yeah, it's actually what I haven't put it out or anything. That's like what I did with it. So
I think it's perfect.
30 seconds is all anyone will ever get.
Right.
No, I don't know.
That's not true, man.
No. Maybe I'll put it out someday. I actually like playing it a lot. Brian, so we've known each other for about a little over a year. Usually most of the people that have been on my podcast, we all know each other from a spot, and you work at that spot.
I do.
So, and you've always been a fucking pretty stand-up guy, and you're one of the nicer ones around. So
that's very kind.
yeah. So, and I think you had a big part in why I live where I live. You actually, I don't know. You gave me the contact for the landlord.
Right. Yeah, and I think Sarah helped out too.
Yeah.
I used to live in this place. I've got fond memories. I called it the IHO.
The IHO?
Yeah, the International House of Hand Jobs. And good friend Scott used to live. Of course, he lived upstairs across the way from me. And, gosh, it'll almost be a year since he passed now. So that's
right.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good place. The person that had this apartment before you was a very loud person. So I'm assuming that you rein it in a little bit more. But maybe not.
Yeah, I heard. I actually recently heard a couple of things about him, the person who used to live here, and it's pretty interesting.
It always seemed like he had 5 or 6 people living in this large studio.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
One of my neighbors upstairs. He was saying, he's like, I think there were drug deals going on here.
Oh yeah, there were. Not that I was a party to it, but
yeah.
The upstairs 2 apartments, I think they share a bathroom or something. Or I don't know.
It's the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one I had. And more than once, I would go in and there would be no toilet paper left for me.
Oh, no.
It's like, who the fuck?
Oh, man. Yeah. So you had some toilet paper snatchers.
I did. They were snatching it up.
Oh, jeez. Man. Wow, they did you dirty, man.
They're truly dirty. Yeah, people need to, maybe take care of their own shit.
Yeah,
right.
Literally, and figuratively.
all the lees.
How long did you live here for?
I lived here for about a year, maybe a little over. I was getting out of a thing with a lady friend. And this just kind of happened, It was it's probably about this size, and it was a perfect year and a quarter for me. It was very inexpensive, and I could walk to work and barely use the car and all that stuff. So that was really cool. And the owner was a nice guy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it was easy for you. It was more convenient for you to walk to work. It's very easy for me to just walk there and just be there for way too long each day.
I hear you. I don't think you're overstaying your welcome at all, man.
No, I mean, I I don't know. I'm up there so much. I'm practically paying rent up there too. It's like a second home.
Yeah, it is for me too. Can't wait till we can extend the hours there.
Yeah. Well, they just cause what governor just made more restrictions on the capacity right now. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's a step back, but I think rational people probably saw it coming, So I'm for it. I don't want to catch that shit, So as if it helps keep things safe, then, I'm for it. It's a struggle though, for the owner and he has a couple other locations that, are not great right now. So
Right.
it's I'm lucky, with my job and where I live and all that stuff. So, but man, let's just shut down for 2-3 weeks, maybe get this thing under control, come back and have a great time.
Yeah.
I'm tired of not being able to hug people.
Right.
Yeah. Shake hands.
Yeah. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy to think where we're at compared to just even a year ago. And I mean, obviously a year ago this time, we wouldn't have ever thought that this could have ever be a reality.
Right.
It's just, I always think of it as a very long, drawn out episode of The Twilight Zone. It just feels like it every day, or Groundhog Day.
Either.
Except there's no Bill Murray.
No, that son of a bitch.
He's somewhere out there.
He's
probably
out
living that sequel for right now.
Oh, for sure. I don't want to jinx it, but there's so many of. I imagine it's the same every year. It's just that with the COVID and people getting old and just dying anyway. And I had just a terrible dream about losing Bill Murray. And then I was like, fuck. That would end it. That would just be,
I was terrified. Okay, my first, the first celebrity case, I think it was Tom Hanks. When he caught it, I'm like, no fucking way did Tom Hanks just catch that shit. And I think he was in Australia too at the time. And it was just like, I remember just being like, no.
And then in a way, it's kind of nice that rich people can catch it too.
Yeah.
It's not just for us poor people.
Yeah.
So, so they can go fuck themselves just like we do.
It doesn't discriminate.
No. Funny that, how a virus doesn't really care.
No.
He just gets in there and causes problems.
It can even get the president too, but he didn't really do a whole lot to protect himself over 8 months.
Jesus. I'm swearing every other word, and so I apologize, Harley. But I know you have very virginal ears. But Jesus, fuck, what a nightmare. So 3 years ago, you're thinking like, okay, well, we got this guy as president, and he's gonna do some bad stuff, whatever. But we're America, and we'll get through all that. And the worst thing that could have happened is a pandemic with those people that don't believe in science. The jury's still out in science.
Yeah.
That's
amazing to me. People the climate deniers, anybody who just dismisses science.
Yeah, but yet they'll get in their car.
Huh?
Fucking science made that car, dude. Come on.
Who made? No, it was God.
Yeah, right.
With his sidekick Jesus.
The cars just appeared like dinosaurs did. You know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
That's fact, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that there's no like Darwinism when it comes to cars. It just appeared, you know, it's like magic.
Yeah.
No science needed.
Yeah, Henry Ford is actually a lot older than people think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he might have been the very first human ever.
I'm into that, man. Let's instead of Q, let's like call it HF. HF-thon.
Yeah.
And we'll just start worshiping Henry Ford. And I'm going to have to trade my car in. I drive a Jeep.
That's no good. That ain't gonna fly. That ain't gonna fly in America, man.
I know.
Not in Detroit.
Yeah, right? Right?
Oh, man.
Is anything flying in Detroit? I mean, the Red Wings suck.
Yeah, unfortunately. But if you want to get into that for a minute, I'll tell you what. Get ready. Red Wings are coming back.
All right.
They are. They're signing players. They're signing young players. They're signing players who grew up in Michigan or Midwest. Steve Yzerman is really trying to get into a homegrown sense, but he's releasing all these other beloved players that I liked throughout the last decade, and he's just like, nope, see ya, and it's time to clean house.
Got to start new.
I'm into it. It's fine. It's that team should be better, and it's a rebuild. It's gonna take a couple of years, but they're gonna get there.
Well, I'll tell you, man, if you get the right players. Not too long ago, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, the Leafs were just terrible. They were last in the league, but they drafted and picked up players that they knew that they had a kind of a long rebuild. So they picked up players that just work hard.
Right.
They go out, bang around, hit, and worked hard. So they would lose 3/4 of their games, but they were always in every game. Mm-hmm. So they were losing like 3-2, or they couldn't score goals, maybe 4-2 or something like that. But they worked hard and they were fun to watch. You can kind of put up with a team that's not performing if they go out and give a shit.
Yeah.
So I watched every game of that season and I never felt cheated. Whereas long ago in the past, it was like you got these really great players, but they only try half the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's kind of how it is for my Lions right now. And it's, you see it every Sunday, or at least glance at it.
Yeah.
And, my group that has to watch that. Yeah. So it's a bad season. That's a coaching problem, though. But that's what the Maple Leafs had. That was their problem this past season with Mike Babcock, I felt.
Yeah.
Didn't realize how much of a dick he actually is.
I didn't realize that either. I thought, I read articles and stuff about players that had issues with him, and I never really put much credence into it. It's like, you didn't like your job, so, you're probably not going to be very friendly with the boss. But watching him work and what he did at the very beginning of his last season with the Leafs was just, like, hard to watch. He sat out a guy, like a veteran player, that took league minimum to play in his hometown of Toronto. And he's a decent player, but he sat him the first game of the season, first home game of the season.
Oh, man.
That's just what are you doing? So you lose all credibility with the players.
Oh, yeah. There was one former player who, there was some history. The guy was named Mike Commodore. He was very vocal about Mike Babcock, and just any chance he had to talk shit about him, it seemed like he just always pounced on the opportunity.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And I mean, I always found it hilarious. So, but I guess like, okay, like Mike Modano, his, I think it was his last game of his career. And I mean, he ended his career with the Red Wings. It was like, he was like 1 point away or something.
Or was it games? Like games
Oh,
played or something?
I think it might have been games.
And he sat him.
What a fucker. What a fucker.
Yeah, it's just, you can't, you just can't operate that way.
No. And that's, that makes no sense to me to be that much of an asshole when you're going to the playoffs. They went to the playoffs that year, and it was just, Jesus Christ,
Come on,
Yeah.
pull your head out, right?
Yeah. Oh, man. So, how long have you been a hockey fan for?
Oh, ever since I can remember. Going to like the Winter Hawk games here. I grew up here, so there wasn't a whole lot of getting to watch. But I love it. I love it. Played some and with Todd and it just spoke to me. Unlike I'll follow some football, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, and it's also because you grew up in Portland, right?
Yeah.
So I actually find that interesting that you grow up as as like a diehard hockey fan.
Yeah.
Because hockey's not really like a big sport here.
Yeah, it's not. Maybe that, I don't know. I think it came from my brother. He was also a big hockey fan. He was like 5 years older. So in my want to do everything that he did, I would go to the games and stuff like that. He had a really great, team in the early 80s that won the Memorial Cup, and I had like Cam Neely on the team and a bunch of really great, John Kordick was the best fighter in the league, and that was probably in 8th grade, and got to see some amazing players, and it's fun, it's great.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I definitely hear you on the older brother. I have an older brother myself, but he wasn't really a big hockey fan. If anything, he was, because I always followed him on everything when I was younger. It was like video games, shows, movies, whatever, and I started getting into sports, and he wasn't really big into sports, but he'd watch hockey, and he would sometimes we would go to a couple of minor league games at the Palace and where the Pistons used to play, and there was a team called the Detroit Vipers, and it was a league called the IHL, and he so I don't think he was really so interested in the actual game. It was just the look of the team was actually pretty fucking sick. It was like their look was really cool. Like they had a really cool look. Probably one amongst the coolest uniforms in all of hockey, in my opinion.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Detroit Vipers. Right. Bet you could find, I don't know, really cool shit. Yeah. You have to check that out. Yeah. I don't know, I was gonna say, I don't know, like, sports was kind of like something for me to actually, where I'm like, all right, like, fuck you, dude. I don't need to be following your shit all the time. So, not really a good segue, but but
speaking of sports,
let's talk about creepy shit. So I've been curious about your company, and it was kind of, I mean, I just really had no idea that you had something going on for a while.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, there it is.
That was it. Thank you, Josh, for the bell. That's a burp bell, by the way. I have to address. I know I pretty much. Josh gave me a bell, a hotel service bell, whatever the fuck, and to keep count of the burps. So that's number one. I'm actually gonna start tallying these today.
That's a good call.
Yeah. Sorry about that. So anyway, I don't want. So you have this company, and it's called. You tell me about it now.
Yeah, it's Unsettling Toy Removal and Rehoming. So what we do, I'll give you a synopsis. Like what we do, and then how it kind of started. But we find kind of messed up looking, creepy looking toys that people don't want anymore, and we acquire them in different ways. A lot of it now, because of the COVID, is through, we send them some shipping money and they send it to us, and then we kind of run a little. Somebody called it doll trafficking. I prefer adoption, but yeah. So we rehome them. People like these things, and we've had some press now, and so these things are coming from all over the place to us. We're waiting on some that are over 100 years old, and some of them, aren't even that creepy, but people dig them, and we're sending them all over the world right now.
Oh man, where are you getting them from, and where are you sending them out to?
Okay, well, the Midwest loves some creepy dolls.
I believe
apparently. So a lot of them, we've sent all over the Midwest. I think the farthest we've sent was to Australia.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's really cool. And so really just anywhere. We were thinking when we started it would just kind of be a fun thing to do around Portland. But, you can't really go anywhere right now.
Right.
And you can't really do all that kind of fun stuff that we had planned initially. So it's taken on a different life through mail and online and all that stuff. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. We started as almost a little kind of a joke, we, Sarah, my partner for it, we went to a ghost conference like 3 years ago. And it was at Seaside. So we show up and we're like, gosh, a ghost conference, that'd be kind of, cool to check out. I don't believe in any of that stuff, and so we went, and the people watching was just amazing, people, I think it's great. People believe what they want to believe, and there's no judgment there. And so there's people selling crystals, and then there's guest speakers about ghosts and time travel and all that kind of cool, almost like Art Bell stuff. You familiar with Art Bell?
Art Bell, no, explain that.
Okay, he ran Coast to Coast. No, he didn't run Coast to Coast. That was dumb. He had a radio program called Coast to Ghost, and he talked about aliens, conspiracy theories, and all that kind of stuff. So it just had a lot of that kind of vibe to it. And it was really fun. We had a great time, and we kind of came away thinking, like, that'd be fun just to get a booth for a weekend and, I don't know, just hang out and talk to people. So we had to come up with a gimmick, And I came up with the idea of, like, wouldn't it be cool if everybody has a fucking toy that freaks them out, So wouldn't it be cool if, like, they contacted us, so it's almost like a Ghostbusters thing where we come in, drop off some chocolates to make you feel better, incense or, whatever, and then take the toy and then find somebody that wants it. And it was kind of it was a way for Sarah and I to spend time together too, because we would kind of go out at first because we needed to find some, And so that was a lot of fun. And then for my 50th birthday, she made the website and business cards for it, as a gift.
Oh, okay.
And so once that was done, we just started going crazy. And, we're not selling things every day or anything. It's not like we're not making a ton of cash, but it's been fun. It's been really fun. It's been a fun, year and a half.
Yeah, that's so it was pretty much a year and a half ago when this got going.
Yeah.
Oh shit. And how did? Okay, so that would explain, because I had a question on like how you two partnered up, and I mean, well, you pretty much just explained it. Well, how long have you known her for?
Oh, about 2 years. We started dating, and it's just keeps going.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She's fantastic. She, quite honestly, does almost everything. I'm the ugly face of Unsettling Toys, and it's hard work to be this ugly.
Oh boy. Well, Brian, you're a beautiful man.
Oh well, yeah. You better put your glasses back on, Harley.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so we kind of started it so that we could maybe go to some of these ghost conferences, and then the COVID happened, because we were going to go in March and do it like the first one, and we got all this stuff to make our 10 by 10 look cool, and have a little selfie station so you can take your picture with a fucked up doll.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's great. But, didn't happen, and we're waiting until we can do that sort of thing. I guess there's a Portland Oddities show that we're going to try to get into at the convention center. I'm not sure when that is, but...
Yeah. So that Oddities show, is it basically similar to that ghost event?
This is more just people selling weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The last one I went to, there was a lot of taxidermy, and just like a lot of artists, doing different paintings and some comic book stuff. But yeah, it was mostly, there weren't just speakers or anything like that. It was like a big bazaar kind of.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Now I got a good question for you. So where do you store these toys? Is it like Ghostbusters, where you take it to a chamber and whatever the fuck, you know what I'm talking about? They go into that basement.
Yeah. And it's like a nuclear thing on that show, right?
Yeah.
Sarah and I have different homes, so they're either there or there, but I've got a good amount of space, and they kind of fit my aesthetic. I've got a interesting group of things in my home, and so yeah, they're mostly at my place right now. In fact, I've got a big, huge window display that I made for what is that? Halloween, and I'm too lazy to take it down, so I figure it might turn into a Christmas display.
You should. I think that'd be appropriate.
I'll get you a picture.
Yes, I'd love to see it.
But yeah, so there's some wild stuff, man. I mean, we just rehomed a frog drummer.
I saw a picture of that.
Okay,
I did see that.
It's a real frog.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
And it has, drumsticks. And then we got a message from this dude. I can't remember where he's from, but we just sent it off to him because he's got a frog saxophone player and a frog guitar player.
Oh shit!
So yeah, they're gonna have a little power trio.
Oh
you know?
man! So there's a band. There's a band going on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I saw that, and it was like that shit was so fucking freaky. I was like,
Oh man, I know.
for those you should check out listening. You should check out their Instagram, Unsettling Toys. There's a picture up of this fucking frog jamming or
Oh yeah.
and he's got Brian and Sarah, they got a whole bunch of other posts, and they have I've been following it, and so it's, I mean, they got some wild shit up there, so yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, okay, so does it, all right, so another, like, the follow-up on where you keep these toys at, does it ever freak you out at night or something when you got all these fucking...
Yeah. So we don't... I think Sarah believes in it a lot more than I do, like spirits and stuff. And I've never been into it. But I tell you, man, you get these creepy things around your house, and, you think you see something out of the corner of your eye, and you're like, no, that can't be. But, so I live in an older house, too. And I'm kind of a heavy guy. So when I walk on the hardwood floors, sometimes, it just moves a little.
Creaks.
Yeah, the creaks. But we've got these, they're not really like Jack-in-the-Boxes things, but we've got some musical ones. And so I'll be walking by, and it'll just like, just a little bit.
Oh, shit.
In your brain, you know it's not real.
Yeah.
It's not, that thing didn't really go off. It's just, But for, that split second, you're like, what the, Jesus.
Or are you trying to convince yourself that it's not real?
Who knows, man? That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. People believe exactly what they want to believe.
Yeah, well, I think that's a solid answer. Okay, so that already answered a question I had, which was your beliefs on the paranormal.
Right.
For me, I got a pretty high belief with paranormal shit, and like you said though, you believe what exactly what you believe, and but I've had some weird shit happen to me throughout my life, and it's just kind of like it gets to the point where sometimes it's like, well, if I bring this up, then I'm a psycho to the person I'm telling it to, and yeah.
You're safe with
me,
Harley.
Cause last month I had a whole like Halloween theme, and I had Ethan on. We were talking about ghosts, and I think Josh and I may have gotten into it. Josh and I were talking about UFOs and aliens and mushrooms, and so, but Ethan and I, we got pretty in depth, and it's funny because there are things that I can say like, okay, what the fuck was that? Like, I really don't. It's fucking weird to me. But then there were other. I was telling him another belief that that maybe that there's there might be some shit going on in this building too, but Ethan was like quick to, because Ethan's very he has I think he's more above and beyond on his beliefs of the paranormal than I am, and he debunked it right away, and he was I'm like, what, really? And then he's like nope, nope. And he's like, you might have some travelers coming in and out through here, and you live across the street from an assisted living place, and you're down the street from the hospital, and so I'm like, okay, and after he explained, I'm like, all right, I maybe he's right, but I want to believe.
You believe what you believe. I don't believe that there's nothing. I believe that we carry some energy with us, and that can be deposited, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at with that kind of stuff. I think that I I don't necessarily believe in vengeful ghosts, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I could. I mean, there's that. I mean, there's also the ones like, well, maybe vengeful ghosts aren't the ones who, for these people that claim that maybe there's, when there's like some violent nature going on.
Right.
Other people would believe that there's, I don't know, like gates of hell kind of shit or whatever. It would just it's kind of tricky for me on my beliefs with that, because I'm not really religious, and I'm not gonna sit there like, if I'm gonna be like believing in hell, then I have to believe in heaven, and
right.
so I'm kind of like, I don't know, but
I think we have the right to pick and choose.
yes, yeah, we do, yeah, but I guess I don't really dismiss the fact that there could be spirits that are kind of that cause some serious tension in a room. Sure. I've been in some rooms where I wasn't like, whether I was warned about it or not. I've like entered rooms where I'm just like, oh, it's fucking chilly in here, and it's fucking really weird in here.
I get that too.
Yeah.
You can feel an energy that's not right. Like, yeah. So I get that quite often. I can walk into a room and be like, somebody's either angry with somebody. It just hangs in the air to me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm a budding empath.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I've always been able to read people pretty well, you know? That's kind of how I surround myself with such good people.
Well,
you know?
Good. That's a good skill to have too. Because I like to think the same thing too.
Yeah,
and,
totally.
Yeah. I don't know. It's also too like, if you meet enough shitheads in your life, then you
know
kind of like
what a shithead looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I hear you there.
And I was gonna say you can identify them by the masks they wear, but I'm also thinking, well, now these days you can identify them by the mask they don't wear.
That's right. That's right. Science deniers.
Oh, those sons of bitches. Yeah. Those motherfuckers.
That's a make or break.
Yeah.
But getting like back to the business and hauntings and stuff.
Right.
We never tell anybody that something is haunted. You know, like I think that there are people out there that sell things and advertise it as like a haunted doll.
Right.
And I don't know, man. I feel like when we could look at the same object, like this bell, and see and feel two different ways about it. You like it, and I can't stand it.
Right.
Mostly because I can see myself in it. But it's the same with anything. You feel what you feel from an item. And who is it to us, or who is it for us to like, well, it's haunted.
Right.
You know?
So I guess like really what that is that like you kind of really tell what your job is with your company, is that like you're not there to directly judge whether the toy is haunted or not. Right. It's just the person who has it is just uncomfortable with having it in their home, and they want it. They just want it and gone.
We hear stories, like, oh, it moves and stuff, and we take those stories, and that's part of what you're buying.
Right. Right.
You're buying the story, and we pass that story on, but we're not going to, say. We'll say, well, Harley had this doll, and it used to move around and stuff. We'll, tell the new person that, but we're not, we're going to keep our hands free of claiming,
Right.
It just seems kind of, I don't know, dishonest isn't the word, but I don't know what the
disingenuous.
Right word. Yeah, maybe. Because it's not like we're trying to make $1 million on selling an old doll. It's just, it's been fun and something to do. and somehow we just keep falling ass backwards into like kind of big press. So
Oh yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to get into is I mean yeah you've been getting press on this,
yeah.
and you know that's obviously it's pretty fucking rad. Who has covered you so far?
Well, it started right away. There was this OK Whatever website from the UK found us through. Okay, well, let's start at the beginning. There's a company called 60-Second Docs, and they make exactly what it sounds like: 1-minute documentaries on normal people doing kind of weird stuff. You know, it could, or exceptional people, you know, or people like us that just kind of have a weird like side hustle. And so they came out and filmed a bunch of stuff with us, and it was super fun. We had a great time. And then so that came out, and then it just started rolling. OK Whatever got a hold of us, and then NPR, we were on NPR, which was fun, was awesome. Willamette Week not too long ago got us, which was great. The big one, the Washington Post got us. And so that's, whenever something happens, it just seems to, you know, more and more happens. And the Washington Post has been really great. And we've got some irons in the fire from that. So.
Yeah, and that's fucking awesome. Like
I just could not believe the Washington Post, you know.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
No big
on,
deal.
yeah.
No big deal.
No, it was a huge deal. I was scared, but I don't know. It was in the lifestyle section. It's not like, because it just happened, and there's so much crazier and important news, you know. Why would you waste space on this little thing? But man, people really dig it, so it's fun.
Well, I'll tell you why. It's because, especially, what was it? That was in the last couple of weeks that had gotten out. It's because people we've been getting flooded with all the election shit and all the and any other not fun things or events going on in the world. People, you know, people need to they need an escape of some sort too, and they, you know, whether it's they look something up on YouTube, or they read just different articles and stuff that's interesting, and especially for when that came out because it was around Halloween. So you know, people want to read spooky shit. They want to get into the fucking festive mood and all that.
We all need a break from reality.
Absolutely, because we've been living in a fucking nightmare for way too long now.
We have definitely.
Oh boy, yeah. Hopefully we can wake up from all this.
We will, man. We will. I believe in us. I believe in us.
So, oh boy, so do you ever deal with anybody who like isn't really into your company, like people who may like shit talk or whatever?
Not so much, you know. I have a general policy of not wanting to read comments.
Good.
But I did on the Washington Post thing because I was just curious. And, you know, 99% were super positive. And then there was a guy that said, well, they're lying and they're just trying to sell you garbage. I'm like, yeah, I guess we are. I mean, they're unwanted dolls, and we're just, you know, it's not like I don't know, man. It's crazy. But people, I just feel sorry for people that can't be happy, you know, or supportive of somebody else doing something that makes them happy. So, but most of it has been very positive, and with our clients, we just keep in touch with everybody, you know. So it's almost like a little family.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you know, and for all those dickheads, they you know, they're just trolls who live under a bridge.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
There is actually a troll bridge in Portland.
Is there?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. So you drive out, I don't know, is it 30? I don't know what highways. Out towards like Sovies Island, you know? And it's up on this side road, and it's an old train, you know, what, trestle? Is that the right word?
It might be. I don't know.
I think it is. You know.
I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, me too. I work at a bar, for God's sakes. But so people have like kind of nailed or hung those little bastards with the hair, the trolls.
The
you know, the
those
actual
back
little
in the
trolls.
90s, like those little fuckers.
Yeah. So they put those all over this bridge, you know, and it's called the Troll Bridge. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
I think it was on like Atlas Obscura. Have you ever been on that site?
No.
It's worth it, man.
Yeah.
It just has interesting, odd things from all over the world. So, like that was in there, and it's just like you can find little day trips to find something just odd. That's really cool. Yeah. And they don't pay me to say that, although I think maybe they should. At least, you know, help a friend out.
Oh yeah. I've been guilty of doing the same thing, dropping names and being like, oh yeah, like they should pay me.
Yeah, I really hate Pepsi. Coca-Cola is the way to go. And honestly, RC, the Royal Crown of Colas, is the best to, you know, make cocktails with. So I would, Pepsi just, you know, Coke. Everyone do Coke, please.
Everyone do Coke. So RC is that your doing for why that's the soda at the bar?
You want to fight me over it?
I don't got to fight you. There's number two.
There it is. Somebody's had too much RC cola.
Yeah.
No, you know, I think it's just, I think it's a gold standard, man. It's not me that was the owner, you know.
Yeah.
And we used to have Squirt too.
Really?
Oh, so good.
Oh man, I haven't had Squirt in a long time.
Grapefruit bubbles.
Some asshole just texted me, Brandon.
He's the worst.
I think he's what's. Oh, okay, nothing.
Nothing super important.
I thought he was like, "What are you doing? You want to meet up at the bar right now?"
He's probably up there. I like Brandon. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he is. He's a very nice guy. I keep asking to come on the podcast, and he just doesn't want to do it. And he's like, "No, I don't know, man. I don't know." I'm like, "All right. Well, you should do it."
I'll have a fatherly talk with him.
Yeah, convince him. He actually knows. He very modest person, and he knows, like, I don't know. He's done some cool shit, and I keep finding something. He's always telling me something crazy almost every day. Like, he's like, "Oh, I met Dave Chappelle." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, you just, and he's, you know, he'll something like that. And I'm like, how do you fucking live this life? And you're just, and yet, you know, you hardly got a fucking ego on you. And, yeah. So,
that's cool, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get him on, I bet.
Yeah. You'll have to convince him. I can't do it anymore.
We'll just stop serving him until he comes on.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So, and you know what? Because I think people should know a little bit more about you if that's okay with
yeah.
you. I won't dive into too
Sure.
much personal shit
right.
for you. Uh, it's just because you got such a cool company, and it's very, it's exotic, really. I mean, it's a fucking, it's an original idea, really.
It's a different bag, right?
Yeah. Which is also why I think it's gained so much traction, and why it's attractive to like people to write about it or feature you in some way, and
Yeah, we found, by just kind of looking around on the internet and stuff, that we were pretty much the only people doing exactly what we're doing. Some other companies were, or people were doing, like getting a doll and then painting it and making it look like psychotic, which is awesome, and that's their art form. That's great. I'm not artistic, man. I can't draw a stick figure. Yeah. So we just get them. We don't even clean them up. They're just perfect how they are.
Right. Yeah.
But so I'm called Brian. I used to be called Mankind. I had super long hair and a goatee. I looked just like the wrestler, man.
Yeah, you had the mask and everything.
There were so many people that just didn't even know my name. They would just call me Mankind all the time. But I've been bartender for 16 years, same place. And, just living in Portland and keeping everything small.
Yeah. And because you've grown up here, you've lived here your whole life. You never really had a desire to live anywhere else?
I have, as I've gotten older, at first, I don't know, probably for my first 30 years or whatever, I'm saying that's great. Portland's still amazing. I love it, but yes, there were times where I'd be like, well, maybe if I moved to Bend or something, worked a summer season down there and just mixed it up. I almost moved to New York one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a friend that had a place, and I was ready to go, But she ended up coming here, which worked out good too. But that I would probably go to New York. I don't think I'd want to be poor in New York.
No.
She had like a pretty nice place in Park Slope, Brooklyn. And so the 10 days or whatever, close to 2 weeks that I was there, I was kind of like, oh, well, this is pretty cool, but I wouldn't want to live in one of those big, tall buildings and have rats all over me.
Oh, yeah. Master Splinter. That's how big those rats are out there.
Yeah, man.
Fucking, how do they get that fucking big?
Well, if you watch 30 Rock, the Rat King or something like that, where all the rats, they live in such a small spot that their tails get interlocked, and it becomes one big rat with a whole bunch of mouths. So I learned that off of TV, which was really cool.
Yeah.
TV, that's where I get all my cool thoughts.
You'll find nothing but honesty on TV.
It's really just it's a box of honest.
Yes. Every news station you ever watch, they're telling you the truth and the facts and nothing less.
Nothing less.
Yeah.
Fucking rat kings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. TV. I don't even have a fucking TV in here.
Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of due for one, though. I wasn't sure how long I was going to be staying here because I was supposed to move back to Detroit. So
I remember that. Yeah, I'm glad you did not.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't either. And now I'm very happy to still be here. And
Good.
I'd rather be here, especially right now during these crazy times, than mostly anywhere else, especially like what today they showed a map, like I don't know, on one of those honest news stations.
Right.
They were showing like how severe all these COVID cases are, and just it's like mostly red, and Oregon's actually one of the few states that doesn't show it up as that.
Except
So,
we're spiking too now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Multnomah County.
yeah, well, that's the hot county out of anywhere else.
Yeah, us in Marion County, I
Mm.
guess. But
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Do you? Oh, yeah, that's actually a good question too. So do you feel like, do you feel like maybe business will change as COVID becomes less of a thing?
I hope so. I would love to travel a little bit, you know. There's a place in New Orleans I want to go to that has some really interesting dolls and stuff like that. But yeah, ideally, you know, long term, it would be nice if we could have enough business to where we might be able to pack up for a week and hit the road
Oh yeah.
and see other people, you know, that are into this little world of creepy dolls or just weird stuff, you know. So ideally, that's, you know, kind of a long-term goal would be amazing. There's just areas in Oregon too that we just haven't been able to get to because of, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it'll open up quite a bit, and it'll be a lot more fun, you know.
Yeah. I think you're in a unique position for all this, and the way that things have kind of taken off in the last year. People, especially those who may have not been working or haven't had so much to do, and to be able to come across, you know, your company and be like, oh, well, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And so, I think it's kind of like, you know, it's like a catch and release sort of thing, I guess, to maybe say, like you're able to reel people in right now because they got nothing to do.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, you know, and be like, well, maybe release is not really the word, but to basically, you know, really get the name out there more, and then, you know, and so then when things are back to whatever normal's gonna be, then, you know, then you got yourself some repertoire.
Yeah,
whatever,
no, it's true. It's true. Like we were saying earlier, it just something big happens, and then somebody else finds us from that, and then another big thing happens, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I always think of other small businesses and how it's a struggle, and how, you know, I mean, we're really fortunate to be able to do this and somehow end up in the Washington Post, and, you know, other people, other businesses would love to do that, you know, and would go out of their way, and we're very fortunate, and it just kind of happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, it's I see good things coming your way with all this. I mean, I think it's a fucking I mean it really appealed to me. I mean, shit, when I really looked into your company, I was like, oh fuck, like this is definitely something different. I've never really fucking heard of something like this before.
It's no joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
fucked up dolls ain't nothing to fuck with.
yeah. So where would you you mentioned a place like New Orleans. What would be any other places that come to mind?
Yeah, well, I mean, all over the UK would be amazing. So,
Oh, man, yeah.
I mean, just everything's so old. So, you know, East Coast, Boston area would be amazing probably. But, you know, New Orleans has that feel in it already.
Right.
You know, it's a mystical town.
Yeah.
With the voodoo and the Catholicism, there was a terrible thing that happened there. It's a story of Zach and Addie, I think. You can look it up or whatever. But this guy kind of, I guess, lost his mind. He had PTSD and other problems, I guess, but ended up doing something. Oh, that's my phone. Doing something terrible and killed his girlfriend. You know, it was right after the flood. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so now in their old apartment, people believe it's haunted, but with a ghost from a little girl from like years before. And so people are leaving these dolls in the apartment for the little ghost girl to play with or make her feel at home. And I just want to see that.
Yeah.
You know, I there's a video or something like that, or there was a video, and I saw some of the stuff up there, and I was like, oh, that'd be just cool to maybe do a trade, you know, drop off a few things and maybe,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So places like that, I mean, the South, there's just some odd stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, I mean the South does seem like a pretty creepy region. Oh yeah.
Oh, you know, we got to hit those states before they secede.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, because then international fees.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, I mean, if Mississippi's thinking about it now, whatever.
Oh my God.
But
Oh my God.
yeah, so, you know, we better really get on that. 'Cause
Yeah.
just dying to go to Mississippi.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place. I don't know.
Beautiful red state.
Yeah. The reddest of the red. So, oh yeah, I forgot to ask this question too. I'm a great interviewer.
Ah, you're doing great.
And so, what's the creepiest toy that you have or that you have ever had?
Yeah. Okay, well, we have, it's Winston. It's a Winston. And it's one of the first ones we acquired. And what it is, it's a lion that is made of skin, leather. We don't know. It's just unnerving. We don't know what kind of leather it is. There's no like marks, like nobody signed it. It's just this weird leather lion, and the face has like these weird teeth, and it's got these green eyes that are pointing in different directions, and
Oh, man.
it's just something that will never sell.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just too strange.
Yeah.
You know.
That skin is like that's kind of like that's kind of unnerving to
I
me.
would kind of want to know what it's made of. I
Yeah.
don't know how to go about, you know, doing
No
something
idea
like that,
what it
but-
could be. Like,
No, we just came across it, and it is nuts. It's you look at it, and
do
Yeah,
you think
just-
maybe it was once owned by someone who would say puts the lotion on its skin?
I don't know, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's got to put that lotion in the basket, right?
Oh man.
Sometimes I say that when Austin Matthews scores. You put that lotion right in the basket.
Yeah. Is he captain of the or is that
No, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I think he is.
Yeah, he should be. He is the future of that
He's
team.
the future. He's the future.
So do you think that they're going to make the playoffs next year or next season?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so.
Yeah, I think they're on the right track.
I think so.
My Red Wings won't make it though.
No, but
Not this year.
Like we were talking about earlier, if they can just work hard and get that, you know, they'll be entertaining to watch.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there are some players. I keep an eye on those guys.
Yeah. Well, that rivalry would be great to see reignited.
It really would.
Actually,
yeah.
'cause-
Any of those.
original
18
six.
Yeah. Any of those.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Well, you know what, Brian? I think we may have covered everything, unless you have anything that we may have left out.
I don't think so, man. Yeah, I think we covered quite a bit.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, and then I guess before we sign off here, tell everybody how they can check out Unsettling Toys.
Oh yeah, sure. It's just the name, so we were able to grab up all the handles. So on all of our social media, it's all Unsettling Toys, just how it sounds. Website is unsettlingtoys.com. On the website, we have a list of media appearances and stuff like that, which is pretty interesting. So you can kind of learn about us on that. We do a lot of business through Instagram, and you had mentioned the handle earlier.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, Unsettling Toys. It's working good.
Good. So Instagram, Twitter, or no
we
Twitter?
have a Twitter account, but
Twitter sucks.
Yeah, it's just
no.
I look at it because for some reason I like to see people argue.
Yeah, that's what it's there for now.
It really
that's
is.
all there is.
So like Facebook, we're on that. Instagram is the big one because that's where we immediately post our new acquisitions and stuff like that. But yeah, Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, no. Twitter's for the fucking birds. No pun intended. There's a fucking pun intended. Fuck
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Pun. Fucking pun
there
bell.
we go.
Pun bell.
Oh man, Brian. Okay, well, dude, thank you for coming by, and I'm very, I'm happy that we got to talk. I'm very happy to get to know your company more, and you yourself.
Cool, man.
Yeah, you've always been a fucking stand-up dude, and you've been nothing but kind to me since I moved out here or started rolling into that, to the bar. And
I think people find it very easy to be kind to you, sir.
Yeah.
Harley Moon.
Yeah.
If that is your real name.
Well, who says it's not?
Yeah. Likewise, and I apologize for it taking so long. So.
Oh, no worries. I mean, like what we had to, because we had to postpone. You weren't feeling well.
Yeah,
though,
it was
so,
just kind of under the weather.
That's okay.
Sometimes
totally
it's just depression.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes you just can't get out of bed.
Right, dude. I hear you wholeheartedly. I've been there. I mean, I still go through the motions like that too.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, we're human. That's
put on a good face, right?
Yeah.
Or, as good as you get.
Yeah, it's good. Well, that's another reason why it's good to have a mask on too.
Yeah.
No,
that's true.
Yeah. No, but
I am far better looking with that mask on.
Oh boy, Brian. Once again, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to have you come back on sometime too.
I will.
Maybe
100%.
we can get an update on how things are going for Unsettling Toys and talk about life, bullshit, hockey, whatever the fuck. And so I'd love to do this again sometime.
Yeah,
so,
we'll do it. We'll do it. I appreciate you.
Okay. And with that is it. I am Harley Moon, and this has been the On the Moon